and welcome to Dustin Expo Connected and our breakout session for today. I'm very happy that you've chosen our breakout session. During 20 minutes, we will talk about health through digitalization, based on a case study we have together with Actic. But first of all, if you have any questions during the discussion, you have a chat window to your right in your screen, where you can ask questions basically, and one of our experts will answer them immediately, I hope. But with me today, first of all, I have with me today to give some insights, thoughts, and provide some discussion on this topic. We have Mårten Hoffman with us. Mårten is the CIO of Actic, a wellness group with a focus on gym facilities. Welcome, Mårten.
Thank you. Gym and swim, that is actually.
Gym and swim.
Lots of swimming halls as
Lots
well.
of swimming.
Yeah.
That's great. Swimming is nice.
It is.
So, Mårten, like I mentioned, you're the CEO of Actic.
Yeah.
Before we start getting deeper into the details of what we do together, maybe you can give us a bit of an introduction to Actic and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm the Chief Information Officer of Actic. We are a Swedish-based wellness group with swim and gym facilities in 4 countries. Mm-hmm. That would be Sweden, Norway, Austria, and Germany. And we focus not only on the gym and swim experience on site, but also, of course, during the pandemics, we have been working pretty much both with our outdoor boxes, which enables people to exercise using weights and dumbbells also outside of the gym. So we launched a few kind of containers filled with training equipment across Sweden mostly. And we also have digital products, of course. So we have an app and different kinds of training that we then offer to our clients. But some 170, 180 gym and swim facilities in 4 countries. That is Actic.
That's lots of facilities, basically.
It is.
Do you have a big IT department that you provide?
I wish it was bigger, of course. No, but we strive to survive a healthier society through training, and we do that through our different products. And of course, the IT department has to serve both our own staff internally with working computers and network and so forth, but also providing the apps to our members. So we are some 8 people maybe in the IT department.
That's great. So I've read up on you. You joined Actic 4 years ago. So what was the situation in IT or in the department back then?
I would say that the training and fitness industry in general is an industry where digitalization came pretty late. Mm-hmm. So we didn't have so much, basically. No. So we had to do a lot of work with upgrading the networks and the internet connections, and also find ways to effectively manage computers, laptops, all kinds of devices for all our distributed staff out in the country. So we were pretty far behind, I would say, a few years ago.
A few years ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not the biggest IT department, but I guess when you deliver a lot of IT, you have a lot of partners as well. Do you have a specific strategy or some sort in looking at partners?
I would say being responsible for a small IT department and also working a lot with of course, the digitalization of the business and also the business development in terms of digital products. Having a small department, it is important to find, not the classical kind of offshoring or outsourcing approach, but rather we've been trying to find partners that can help us on our journey, but also in some cases we want to help our partners to grow. So finding a partner that is kind of equally big as yourself, so that you become an important client, and also that gives us the courage to support you in your growth.
You become partners for real, actually.
Yes, I want you to earn money on us, and I expect you to help us on our strive to become a better company. Yeah,
I think that's the definition of partnership. I think that's great.
Yeah, in theory it is, but then we all know in practice there can be problems running such partnerships.
Exactly. So going from partnerships to perhaps the service model, I mean, you must have gone into some sort of an as-a-service model as well, I guess.
Yeah.
What have been the biggest effects from doing that, would you say?
I would say it's about trusting each other. Not only when writing kind of or setting the contract, but also going forward, knowing that you have a partner that you can rely on and also a service that you can rely on. What gives me the creeps, however, is then when you establish a kind of a service delivery model and you agree on a service to be delivered, but then again, you do not only pay for the service as such that you had agreed on, but there are also kind of separate invoicing for the little bits and pieces that you took for granted that were included in the service, and that I would actually happily pay for as long as we have agreed on it beforehand. So a pure service model, that is, I think, the ideal for me as the CIO of Actic.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, because when you look at the service model as well, you don't just outsource the sort of the actual function, you also outsource the risk sort of. Because when there are problems, the risk should be at your partner and not on you basically.
Or if you're partners, you should do your best to try to solve to mitigate the problem together. And it is not always the partner that knows the most about the service or the situation. It could be ourselves, and we would be happy to assist there. As long as you help us or the partners help us with other questions.
We come back to that. It's a partnership, basically.
Again, that is the theory of having a partnership.
The theory, yeah. So since we partnered with you, I mean, we're delivering a number of different services and solutions and products and whatnot in this partnership. We do network, we do our infrastructure as a service. We have a modern workplace solution as well. And I've been reading up a bit on this, and I think the network solution perhaps is a bit like boring IT in its foundation, but when looking at your solution and what you're using it for, I think it's sort of exciting as well. What you can do with it.
First of all, I would say that almost nothing is boring when you go into the details and understand kind of the power of it. But we have a solution which is delivered as a service that gives us, first of all, a great overview of what the network looks like. Our northernmost club is in Norway on the border to Russia, and the southernmost is Austria, bordering to Hungary. So it's like, I don't know, 4,000 kilometers spread between the clubs. So we can have an immediate overview of what's working and what's not on this dashboard. And then also using an effective system with tagging of different network and different devices, we can immediately keep track on, well, which internet solution provider do we use on these clubs, and what kind of phone solution do we use. So I would say that one of the best benefits of this network as a service solution is that we are able to get this overview and fastly or quite fast pinpoint whatever problem that might occur.
Exactly, and especially as you said you're a smaller team as well. It might be you can't send your technicians to I don't know, Tromsø or
no, it's Alta. It's even further to the north actually.
Or Hungary. Building upon that, I read as well that you use location data a bit as well, or you can use it at least.
A bit, of course, it's anonymized, but the general idea is that we have deployed quite advanced Wi-Fi solution to most of our clubs, and using that and using anonymized data, we can understand how people move in. It's not very accurate, but we can at least know in which area of the gym are people most frequently, which then can give us data. For instance, if we want to buy new treadmills, which are extremely expensive, is there enough people there to support the cost for an extra treadmill and so forth? So we use that in a very simple manner in order to get a feel for the flow within the gyms.
I guess you can also get a feel for the flow when they actually go to the gyms and things like that.
Yes, it's quite obvious which days people go to the gym and which days they don't. So,
I'm guessing Fridays isn't the most popular one, or is it?
Mondays is whenever we've had this pleasant weekend, then we go back to work or to a weekday. Then we can see a heavily lift in traffic, of course.
I can imagine.
When did you last visit an Actic gym, by the way, Fredrik?
That was a while ago, actually.
It was. Well, you're more than welcome to join.
Well, thank
on
you.
A Monday, for
thank you very much. So what would you say is the most, I guess, surprising effect when you launched this solution? Were there any surprises that you?
No, not really. It was quite simple. When we renegotiated the contract with Dustin a few years ago, I had to ask myself, well, do we really need Dustin to help us? Or can we actually manage everything ourselves? But then again, given that we're a small team, we built some competence, but also having the reliability of partnering with a company that has a bigger staff and that can support us kind of 24/7. We decided, of course, to continue the partnership, but it's not that tricky on a high level, I would say. That surprised me.
That's great. IT should be simple, in my opinion.
I mean, if even I, as the head of the department, can manage the solution, then it's simple or too simple.
That's great. Like you said, the fitness and perhaps the gym business has been sort of a laggard when it comes to IT innovation, I guess. I mean, but even before the pandemic hit us, I mean, you were catching up big time. How would you say the pandemic affected you and your business and perhaps the innovation rate or innovation race?
Well, what happened in March 2020 was that I think the IT departments or the companies that had not yet shifted to staff being able to work remotely, having rolled out Office 365, all that in place, they had big problems. We didn't experience that much of a fuss. We had, for instance, a phone system for our member service that was pretty easy for them to just take their job and go home. So all in all, I would say that we were pretty well prepared, and that paid out well at start of the pandemic. Then, of course, we had to work a lot with buying more hardware, equipping our staff, working remotely and so forth. But also understanding that we lost some 30 or up to 50% of the traffic to the gyms. Luckily in Sweden, our gyms didn't have to close, but in some of our other countries, we had a complete lockdown. But then having to as quickly as possible find other means or other possibilities for our members to keep on exercising. That was kind of the main innovation driver, including the outdoor training that we focused a lot on, and also digital solutions, offering online training and also kind of a chat functionality with coaches. That was the kind of main innovation that we did.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So I mean, it sort of forced you to innovate even faster, I guess.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. So I mean, what now? What are your future plans for the next couple of years? Can you give us a sneak peek on what you're cooking, basically?
I think in general, in 2021 and 22, it's all about understanding we call them members, our members better. It is not okay to send the same message to you as to another member that might have a completely different view on training or what they should do. So we created those personas, and we want to tailor-made the communication and also the offerings to these personas. So that is kind of the main thing that we're working on right now, really ensuring that each member get the attention they need and the appropriate messaging and pricing for that, say. And we also we are working a lot with our online solutions and different ways of being able to interact and use our products. Of course, Corona makes it less important to touch stuff, or how should I say it? There's a wave towards the contactless, and we are trying to take away the classic membership cards that you swipe when you enter the door, and we have implemented a QR code solution so that every member can use their own cell phone to access the gym instead.
Yeah, it's their personal device that you use to do anything, basically.
Exactly.
That's very interesting. I mean, if you're looking at the workplace sector in general, we're moving into like a sort of a hybrid workplace where we work either from home, from the office, or from the bus, maybe the gym. In the future, I guess we're moving in sort of a hybrid wellness situation as well. With the online training, the box training, what you call it, and the gym as well.
Exactly. Well, when I go to the gym and I feel a lack of creativity or don't know what to do, which is almost every time, I just go into our app. I say, well, I have 20 minutes and I want to do some kind of exercise using a dumbbell, and then I get a suggested program and I run that program, and I feel happy. Somebody, or at least a virtual coach, told me what to do, and I became, of course, extremely fit, as you can see.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you very much, Mårten. Thank you for coming to Dustin Expo.
Thank you.
If you, at home, want to read more about the different types of solutions and how it creates value for Actic, there's a really great article and a video with Mårten actually training as well in the Dustin Knowledge Bank in your local Dustin website. Also much more there. Right now, after this session has been closed, you'll be moving to a new e-meet chat room, basically, where you will be able to ask a lot more questions to our experts and each other. And thank you very much, Mårten, for coming. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you.